I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will see how slope of line and rate are linked and how do we solve some real life situations with this application. The question here is, at a party place to cater a party, it will cost $450 for 20 guests and $675 for 35 guests. Find the rate per person if overhead charges are fixed, right? So we are assuming a linear rate in this particular case, and we are assuming a fixed overhead cost as given in the particular question. So let's look into this situation with the help of a graph. So on a graph, what we have is, on the x-axis we have number of guests. So we have number of guests. And on the y-axis we have the cost. So we can write cost per dollar in dollars. So there is a fixed cost. So let's say there is a fixed cost, and then per person some rate has been charged. So it's kind of like this. If the number of people increases, it increases by the rate. 2 points are given to us. When we say it will cost $450 for 20 guests, so this is one of the points. And the other one is, for 35 guests, the cost is $675. So that is the next point. So treat this as 2 points on your straight line. So this point will be having a coordinates of 20 guests, because 20 is along, guess is along the x-axis. That comes first. And the cost along y will be 450, right? So that becomes the coordinate points. For the second one, along the x-axis we have taken guests, so we'll write 35 first here as x coordinate, and the y coordinate will correspond to the cost, which is 675, right? So these are the two coordinate points, which you will term as x1, y1, x2, y2, right? So you could think of this as x2, y2, and this as x1, y1, correct? Now what is slope? As you know, slope m is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, correct? So in this particular case, we can write slope as equal to 675, that is y value, and the other y value is 450. The order should be maintained, right? So it is 35 minus 20, correct? So that gives you the slope. So let's use the calculator. We have 675 take away 450 gives you, 675 take away 450, which is equals to 225 over 15, right? So 225, 35 minus 20. So we'll divide this by 15. We get 15. So the slope is 15. 15 becomes the rate at which each person's cost is added on a fixed cost. When we are saying equation of a line in slope-intercept form, we're looking at the equation y equals to mx plus b. Now b is the fixed cost, right? M is the slope. So using this equation, we can write down y equals to m, which is 15 here, x plus b. Is it okay? Now this is a general equation. Normally, when we use applications where we have guests and cost, we should say let x be the number of guests and let y be the cost. So that is how you have to define your variable, correct? So we are saying x is the number of guests and y is the cost. In our equation, y equals to mx plus b. To find b, we could take any one of these points. So to find b, let us take 20 and 450. 20 is the x value, 450 is the y value. So we get 450 equals to 15 times 20 plus b, right? So now we have in this equation, b is the only unknown variable. So we could say, okay, so now bringing this to the left side, we have 450 take away 15 times 20 is equals to B. So let's use the calculator once again. We have 450 minus 15 times 20 equals to 150. So the value of B is 150. So that gives you the equation, that is y is equals to 15x plus 150. Now can you answer the question now? What does that mean? Y is the cost, x is the number of the guests, right? It says find the rate per person if overhead charges are fixed. Well, the rate per person is $15. That is the rate, M, slope. So slope here represents rate per person. The fixed cost is 150. The fixed cost is $150. Do you see that? So we can write down our answer that rate per person is $15, correct? So that is how you could answer the question. Well, we did get the rate right in the beginning when we found the slope. The question could have been also find the fixed cost, right? Or sometimes the question could be, which I am placing for you. So the question for you now is find the cost for, so we already, let's say for 50 guests. So that is the question for you. Find the cost for 50 guests. You can pause the video, answer the question, and then write down the comments in the comments portion. So what you need to do here is you can use this equation, replace x with 50 and calculate your answer. I hope that really helps. If you like, you can place some likes. Feel free to share my videos and subscribe. Thank you and all the best.